Chapter 2. Outside the colossal building, the late summer heat hit him full force. Wisting took a deep breath, crossed Karl Johansgate, and headed straight for the multi-story car park where he had left his car. Before he drove off, he poured the contents of the envelope onto the passenger seat beside him. In addition to the bunch of keys, the envelope contained a black leather wallet, a gold watch, a mobile phone, a few loose coins, and a piece of paper with the new code for the alarm, 1705. The phone was an older model, solid and functional, and there was still some power left in it. The display showed 2 missed calls, but did not say from whom. He laid it aside and glanced at the wallet, which was scratched and worn and bent slightly out of shape. Opening it, he found 4 different credit cards, as well as a driving license, insurance certificate, a Labour Party membership card, and loyalty cards from various hotel chains. In the notes section, there was 700 kroner, several receipts, and a business card from an Aftenposten journalist. There were also a number of photos of his deceased wife and son. Lier Clausen had died when her husband was Minister of Health, around 15 years ago, and Wisting remembered the media storm it had provoked. She had worked at LO, the Norwegian Confederation of Trade Unions, and had been diagnosed with a rare type of cancer, aged 46. An expensive experimental treatment was available around the world but was not recognized by the Norwegian health authorities. As health minister, Bernard Clausen was indirectly the highest-ranking person responsible for the fact that his wife did not receive life-extending medication. She was several years his junior, and their son must have been in his mid-20s at the time. He was killed a year later in a road traffic accident. 2 tragedies had struck Bernard Clausen within a short period of time. He had withdrawn from politics and public life for a while before returning as foreign minister a couple of years later. Wisting replaced the phone, keys, and wallet in the envelope and examined the gold watch. The face was emblazoned with the red logo of the Labour Party. He let the second hand rotate all the way round as he gathered his thoughts. Then he returned the watch to the envelope with the other items and started the car. The first person he needed to get on board was Espen Mortensen, an energetic and versatile crime scene technician who could be relied on not to talk to others. Wisting had bumped into him that morning in the police station corridor and knew he was back from 3 weeks' holiday. As he followed the signs for the E18 motorway from the city centre, he dialed his number. Mortensen sounded busy when he answered. "Have you managed to catch up with everything after your holiday?" Wisting asked him. "Not entirely," Mortensen replied. "There's still a lot to do." "It'll have to wait," Wisting said. "I need you for a special project." "Oh? What would that be?" "I'll be back in Larvik in an hour and a half," Wisting said, casting a glance at the dashboard clock. "Bring your crime scene equipment and meet me at the car park beside Stavern Sports Hall, and we can drive together from there." "What's going on?" Mortensen asked. "I'll explain later," Wisting said, "but don't mention this to anyone." "What about Hammer?" Niels Hammer was second in command in the Criminal Investigation Department and deputized for Wisting in his absence. "I'll have a word with Hammer," Wisting told him. He wrapped up the conversation and found Hammer's number. "I've been given an assignment that will mean being away for a while," he explained. "You'll be in charge of the department in the meantime." "What kind of assignment?" Hammer asked. "It's a high-level project." Hammer knew better than to ask any further questions. "How long will it take?" "I've no idea," Wisting answered. "I'm taking Mortensen with me for the preliminary stages, so he won't be available for the next week or so." He knew this would place Hammer in a difficult position. Resources were already scarce. "Okay," Hammer replied. "Anything else I should know?" "I don't know too much myself," he admitted. "Okay," Hammer repeated. "I'm here if you need anything else." The car radio reconnected when he ended the phone conversation, and Wisting switched it off. All that could be heard now was the engine noise and the regular rhythm of the wheels on the asphalt. Thoughts about the origins of the cash were already forming in his mind. Bernard Clausen was a party veteran with a long political career and countless power struggles behind him. He had always been sympathetic towards the USA and had been a supporter of the war in Iraq. This had led to disagreements in government, and he had suffered a setback when it was decided that Norway would not participate in any aggression. Later, as the chair of the Parliamentary Defense Committee, he had brokered an agreement to purchase American-produced fighter planes for the Norwegian armed forces. The contract was worth more than 40 billion kroner. Wisting's hands curled around the steering wheel. Money was usually the root of everything that smelled of greed, corruption, and abuse of power. This promised to be an investigation on a totally different level from what he was used to. But he had the optimum starting point. He had the money. Money always left traces behind, and it would simply be a matter of following them back to the source.